Sees the checkered flag and will win the Spanish Grand Prix.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the CIL FC Round 5 live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Yard of Bricks. And folks, tonight we have a special race tonight as we are not driving on the Indy Oval yet. That is for next week. For the, let's just say the lead up to our famous Indy Oval race, we're going to be having on the Indy Roval, or I should say the Indy Road Course. And tonight we're gonna have a nice long race. It's gonna be 45 laps around the Yard of Bricks, and it is going to be very interesting. As I mean, this place has been known for its historical impact in the racing world, but definitely tonight for the CIL FC for the Round 5, it's gonna be the Indy Road. Tonight I am your host Edward Sanchez, and soon enough Sky is gonna be joining us as our co-host once she is done with her meeting. So she'll be on hopefully by the time the race starts. But for now, for our pre-race show, it is going to be me and myself, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful night wherever you guys are watching and tuning in. Thank you so much. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button because it's going to be exciting. So let's get into the track information. So as I mentioned, located in Indianapolis, it is a 2.43 mile, 3.92 kilometer racetrack length in terms of the road course, not the oval. It has 14 turns, and of course, known for being a brick track. All of it used to be all bricks. So those people back then, they were built different. Pit speed is at 55 miles per hour, 89 kilometers per hour, and was first seen not too long ago in the 2024 season 11 of CIL. So it's actually a recent addition. And so, like I said, located at Indiana, USA, it is a wonderful, it's just a lovely track. And honestly, for me, I've actually had some run-ins with it. I definitely ran it in the next gen NASCAR cars and on the oval. I'm more familiar with the oval, but the road course, it is definitely fun to drive around. So tonight, I am excited. And of course, there are some noteworthy names to really, I guess, look out for tonight. As of course, Jordan Johnson and Alif currently, as I see in the practice, are up top and are in the top charts, with Jordan Johnson actually taking first place in the practice by 4,000th of a second. So our Muhammad Alif just behind them, barely. So it's just going to be very interesting for qualifying, as these two, I should say, front runners are going to be really clashing tonight, as it looks like they're on equal footing. And one person that I really did not expect also was Walker Green. So in that practice, Walker Green had a 1 minute 11.797, which unfortunately, of course, that was 6,000th of a second back before the first two. So it's going to be very interesting to see our rookie sensation up there in the top charts for practice. So we'll see what qualifying right now is underway as the drivers are getting ready and getting on the track. So right now we have lovely driver cams on the bottom right, as you can see, and we are right now focusing on Jordan Johnson. So Jordan Johnson, as I said, currently top of the charts in practice by only 4,000ths of a second. So we'll see if Alif has something to answer in these next couple of laps. But going through here, through the S's on the backstretch, it is definitely a racetrack that is very technical, I would say. The infield going into turn one through the infield, a lot of it is really going to be about how you save your tires through these tight left turns, right turns, 90 degrees on, like right here, 90-degree hand turn into the infield once again. and going back up onto the oval into turn 1 on the oval setup. But of course, just a nice right-hander here going back up on the track, and this is the front stretch. So let's go on a lap here with Jordan Johnson. So right now at max speed, looks like a trap speed of 181 miles per hour and into that heavy braking zone into turn 1. So we're going to see a lot of passing there. Down into turns 2, goes down to 83 miles per hour mid-turn, and a nice long right-hander down into turn 3. It's another right-hander heavy. And here's a small little kind of the S's I would consider really short, 5 and 6 through there. And is what I consider the backstretch as they go through the infield here. And it's going to be the second heaviest braking zone is down into turn 7, I believe. A nice left-hander, 90 degrees. And through the S's here, turns 8 and 9. And then another right-hander turns 10, almost 90 degrees. So I'd say that's a third possibility for passing. And upcoming here is another very interesting, as we see how the track, how you have to go back up on the track, it definitely unlevels the cars. So down there into turn 10, now into turn 11, and now finishing it off, going back onto the track to the start-finish line. So in those last few corners there, it is definitely going to be interesting how the car handles from the infield to the oval track. And there is a separation there in terms of how the car can get back on the track comfortably enough for these drivers. And right now, Jordan Johnson with a 111.798. That is currently 5 tenths, or I should say 6 tenths slower than his practice. So there is still time as our Muhammad Ali currently on the track and trying to set a fast lap right here. And as we're on board with the Ball State machine, our Muhammad Ali, our very own, as he crosses the line. And he is now starting his lap. So yes, he is starting his out lap right now. Down into turn 1, it looked a little bit squirrely there. Looks like he lost a little bit there, but not enough, of course, because he keeps it going. But as you can see, turn 1 is going to be a make or break, and especially going into turn 1 and lap 1, we're gonna see who's gonna survive and who's gonna unfortunately be out for the rest of the night. But I hope no one wrecks out. I really do. Down the backstretch here, and another heavy braking zone, and it looks like he's a little bit more stable than turn 1. He was able to control it. Looks like he was a little bit more on rails through the S's there, trying to cut as much as he can before not being considered off track. Up the gears he goes, a nice long right-hander heading into turns 1 on the oval, gets on the track, a car uneven. Another heavy braking zone there, trying to make it all nice and easy, and he does make it seem like that. As right now he's heading out on the final corner here as he gets back onto the front stretch. We'll see what lap time he gets, as right now trying to get up the gears. Let's see. And it looks like it's going to be a 111.878. He is currently a 10th behind Jordan Johnson, so I believe he's going to try another lap, but with those red tires and with how long this track is, it is going to be, of course, most likely just a 1 lap, and that's it. As right now we're on board with the number 9, Andrew, and now apologies to Andrew, but I'm going to attempt his last name, Andrew Voigt, as he's actually starting his CIL FC debut. So tonight is his first race in the series. So welcome to the family, Andrew. Welcome to the CIL families. Right now he is currently on his out lap, and I'm trying to see here where exactly he set his time. He actually set a time. He's a minute 13, and he is from the Penn State. So a new driver from Penn State. Glad to come on board here for the CIL. So right there, he is going to the final corner. So we'll see if he does an improvement from a minute 13.3 from P20. Let's see what he's going to get here as he rounds about the final corner. And of course, it's really going to be how you save these tires. And definitely this track it's all about how you attack these corners and make the most out of it. As right now, he looks like he does not improve, and he's going to stay in P24 now. And right now, Jake Cummings seems like he's still on the attack. He is currently tracking P4. And so on board here for Commerce University, the number 95 for Jay Cummings. And on the back stretch right there, let's see a trap speed of 173. So we'll see speeds of up to 173 going to that corner, and it's going to be a lot to go on the braking. But right now, a minute 12. So right now, Jake is the first person outside of the 111. So a minute 12:012, and currently tracking P4 right behind our very own Ryan Whitlock, the 81. So right now, let's see if Jake can make an improvement. He's kind of slid around there, and it looks like he's gonna head into the pits, and he's gonna abort the lap. So box as he goes into the pits. And I have the honor to also include another CILFC series debut, and that is Brandon Schulenberger for the number 7 of Wingate University, and he's gonna send it into the pit road, and he's gonna box in, and it looks like he is going to abandon his lap right now. I'm trying to see where he is tracking. He's currently P19. He's P19 with a minute 13:054. So not a bad start, as we see Garrett Weitzen for ASU. Looks like the number 42. He is on a hot lap, but right now tracking P13 with a minute 12:62. So we'll see if it was really 2 in a row. Third time's a charm. Maybe Garrett's going to be finishing his lap, or he's going to box into his pit lap. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're 2 corners away from seeing if he does that. But of course, one thing to note is, one thing that gets me excited tonight is the amount of CAL series debuts. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those two fellows handle. Andrew and Brandon, welcome to the CILFC. And Garrett sending it in. Wow, he really threw that car around. Let's see if he's going to make an improvement from P13. And it looks like he does not. He got a minute 12:865. Unfortunately, looks like he is not going to improve. So folks, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the CIL Round 5 live here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as we are running the Indy Road Course configuration, and it looks like we are a minute and 30 away from qualifying ending. And right now, your provisional pole looks like it's Jordan Johnson with the 111.595. And one thing that I want to try to showcase tonight is the immense amount of faces that I see on our screen. As you see there, unfortunately, we got 2 empty chairs there, but we have a tremendous amount of people. Thank you to the drivers for showing us their perspective on the race, and it's going to be definitely interesting throughout the race to be able to showcase these drivers and really put the spotlight on them, because I'm commentating, but I really want to show people, who's driving these beasts of a car, these Alara IR18 around this configuration. Moody, Holterman, Garrett, and it looks like that is the Silva. So on the top is going to be Lucas Moody, that is Clint Halterman, Garrett Weitzen, and De Silva. And then in the middle row, it looks like it's Cale Davidson, Paz, a leaf on the right middle. I was gonna say, folks, look at the bottom left, second to the bottom left. If we see Jordan Johnson doing push-ups, he is certainly getting ready, as he's getting his heart pumped to really get into the zone here, as qualifying has concluded and warm-up has just begun for 5 minutes. So I'm very sorry, folks, for kind of going quiet there, as we're trying to get the list of drivers. This is the first time we've had many drivers on the cam, so this is amazing. I believe we have 12 cameras. Yep, I got the word from production. We have 12 driver cams tonight, so it is going to be fantastic to show off these drivers. So let's go through the grid. But right now, the drivers are warming up. So with our provisional pole, and of course, not surprised, is Jordan Johnson of Kent State University with a minute 11:596, and to his outside by a 10th off is our Muhammad Alif of Ball State University. Following behind our front row, in row number 2 is Ryan Whitlock, the number 81 for University of Alabama Huntsville, and Converse University, Jay Cummings, the number 95, starting outside in number 4. Row number 3, Clay Halterman of UNC Charlotte starting in 5th, with Lucas Moody standing on the side and before Ball State in P6. Walker Green, our first CIL rookie of the season, or one of our CIL rookies, is standing by in P7 for AU Byrne University, with Brent Byrne on the sideline, Indiana in P8. Cale Davidson of Ball State University in P9, and Ben Fiore of Marist College in P10. Rounding about outside of our top 10 is Esteban Munoz for Florida International University in P11, and Cohen Evans of Purdue University Indianapolis in P12. Behind them is Garrett Weitzen, his second CIL-FC start for Arizona State University in P13, and standing alongside our FC director, Ricky Paz, East Carolina University in P14. Behind them is Aiken Lamar for Howard Community College in P15, and Clemson University's own Andrew Burrow in P16. P17 is going to be Thornton Thomas for Rose Human Institute of Technology. Starting outside with him is Nicholas Panella for Robert University in P18. And rounding about our top 20 is one of our first CIL FC debuts, Brandon Schulenberger for Wingate University, I should say, in P19. And starting alongside with him, Andrew Duncan from Milwaukee School of Engineering, MSOE. Jason Wallet of Drexel University in P21. Starting with him is Andrew Voigt for Penn State in P22. Dylan Beatty for Bell State University, another rookie starting this season, P23. And starting alongside Alex Fernetti for UNC Charlotte in P24. And P25, Charles Wembley for Guilford College. A good start. Looks like he's going to have a way to get up through there. And Alexander Diamond for Drexel University for the 049 car. And P27 is going to be John LaFawn for Pennsylvania College of Technology. And it looks like Nick Henley, another CIL-FC rookie for the season, P28, starting with him, Ball State University. Tyler Klingon-Smith, Robert U. Morris University, and P29, with Logan Smith for AU Byrne University and P30. And Alan Hong, the GOAT Hong from St. Clair College, starting in P31, and Troy Cammy of New England College in P32. Another CIL-FC debut, and David De Silva for Montclair St. University, P33, I should say. Not what we expect. He's going to have to drive through the field. And Adrian Tibagoic, St. Clair College, starting in P34. And that about rounds up our grid. And with a minute to spare before going to the grid, let's talk about strategy. Thing that I kind of saw interesting, and I was kind of test driving on this track. So I actually did do a little bit of test driving before this. And wow, this track is a lot to handle. The tires really get eaten out quickly. Took me only 10 laps, and suddenly my tires were no longer there. So right now it looks like we're gonna have a two-stopper with fuel lasting between 17 to 21 laps. So drivers are gonna see if they can really make it a one-stopper. Now, of course, we saw what happened last week at the Canadian Grand Prix, where we saw almost a caution happening, but we did see that they were attempting to make it a one-stopper. And I think we're talking about Laguna Seca. And it was a one-stopper because they had enough fuel to make it for a one-stop. So, drivers right now are debating, and they're still debating, I can hear on the team radio, either a one-stop or a two-stopper. And it's going to be a lot of different strategies. And, of course, we're going to see what tire compounds people are going to try out tonight, starting on the grid. So, I just got word confirmation for production team. It looks like it's going to be between 19, to be more accurate, 19 to 21 laps on fuel. So technically it's going to have to be a two-stopper unless they somehow have a pace car and they're able to really save fuel. And so right now they are currently going on grid. And so one thing to note, of course, is the red tires and the black tires. So a little refresher for our viewers, and if you're new here, and you're watching this for the first time, drivers are at a must pit or compound swap, as they officially say here in iRacing, where you have to pit in and swap out tires. If they start with the reds or the soft tires or the alternate tires, they have to switch over to the primaries, the blacks, or I would call them the hard tires. So between the blacks and the reds, they have to run at least once of each tire. So drivers who are starting out on the red tires gonna have to swap over to the black tires. Drivers starting out on the black tires, they gotta go over to the red tires. So right now the drivers are in and they are currently getting ready as the pace car is currently stalled out on the front row. So we'll see when the safety car starts rolling. As we see the wonderful rows of cars, and look at that. A full grid, 34 drivers tonight for CILFC, with 2 drivers having their CILFC debut today. It is going to be interesting as the cars are now rolling through, and it's going to be one lap around before we are going green. So, as I mentioned before, and we'll mention it again, race length is 45 laps around this beautiful, amazing track. It is going to be pit speed at 55 miles per hour, and considering this pit lane is very long, one of the longest on our schedule, it is going to be a time loss. So drivers are going to have to really think and utilize their in-lap and out-laps. Like I said, the tires are primary or alternates, blacks or reds, respectively, and 14 turns around this beautiful, beautiful track. And with the estimated fuel, as I said, 19 to 21 laps. And that is our race analysis, brought to you by Keith, our producer and broadcaster in the background, and he's currently not happy that I announced his name, but of course, big Keith appreciation before we get going here. And as we see there, through the really short shoot. So I just been asked by production team, who do I think is going to win? And of course, I'm a little biased to say I want to see Clint Halterman get his second win of the series. Now, he's kind of like my black horse pick right now because we see up front, we have Jordan Johnson, Muhammad Alif, Ryan Whitlock, who we don't see often up front, but he's been putting in the practice lately. And Jake Cummings, of course, having a stronger qualifying form, as we saw him kind of lacking in the last 2 rounds. So good to see him up front finally, and we were able to see what he can do up front. Followed by that is then Clint Halterman in P5s. Now, usually we see Clint Halterman in the top 4, and I believe the race at Nashville Super Speedway, our first Indy Oval start in the CLFC, I believe he started P5. So this is why I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. And maybe it's who knows, it might be a repeat for him. But of course, he is currently my pick to win tonight. Followed by that, I think that Jake Cummings has a strong start here, perhaps, as this is one of his best starting position in P4 for the series. And that is really it. I mean, of course, why am I discarding Jordan Johnson or Muhammad Alif or even Lucas Moody? Some people may ask. I believe those 3 are going to be clashing heads. They are, I believe, in my opinion, very aggressive drivers. So Jordan Johnson and Alif up front, I mean, time will tell as the drivers are getting ready and the pace car is going in, and they're currently making their way to the front stretch. It is with my great honor, folks, to start out the race, and Jordan Johnson on the gas, and a green flag, and away we go here in the CIL round 5 at the Indy Road. Jordan Johnson getting a good look, and looks like Ryan Whitlock has a better start. Looks like Muhammad Ali really fell asleep. He's going to send it in on the outside of Ryan Whitlock. He's going to chuck it in there, and he's going to have to take it a really wide. He's going to actually still able to hold on P2 with Ryan Whitlock having to really take it off there as Jake Cummings looking behind. He's going to send it on the inside. He cannot. Ryan Whitlock closes the door with Clint Halterman right behind Jake Cummings, trying to make something happen for P5. Looks like we have a wreck in the back, but that was really for P30th. So right now the drivers to focus on is Clint Halterman, making it look like on the inside. Is he going to make a pass on Jake Cummings? He does not. He thinks twice. He's going to fall back into line. So right now the the top 5 really all the same for the driving position, as we are on board with Clint Halterman of UNC Charlotte, trying to make a really great attempt pass there for Jake Cummings, but looks like he's not able to. But remember, folks, push to pass. These drivers have push to pass enabled in this circuit. 200 seconds of extra horsepower. But it's all about how you use them. As it looks like a leap on the tack on Jordan Johnson up front. As we'll see right here, out of turn 14, down the front stretch. Oh, it looks like Jordan Johnson clipped the grass with his left rear. That's going to compromise his speed as Alif looking in on the inside. He's going to peek on the outside. He has pushed the pass on. He's going to try and send it in late on the braking. Who's going to be first? Alif trying to hold on to the outside. He does not, and he gets into the grass, but he's going to make it stick. And I believe Jordan Johnson, gentleman's rule, he's going to let him by, as it looks like he did force him off the track. And now we have a new race leader, Muhammad Alif of Boston University, up front in P1. Looks like Ryan Whitlock is trying to hold on, but Cale Davidson, a race that is currently trying to fight off with Walker Green, one of our CIL rookie debuting in this season. He is currently in P7. He fell back, it looks like. No, he does not. Actually, everybody in the top 10 actually has stayed in position relatively, except for Alif and Johnson, who swapped positions for the lead. As we're on board with Cale Davidson. And it looks like the cavalry is here, and I'd like to introduce everybody to Sky. Our co-host has joined. Sky, welcome to the CILFC Round 5. How you doing?
Pretty good. I just literally sprinted partway across campus to get here. We're having a great time. Having a great time here at the CIL.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, right now, Cale Davidson, we are on board with him, trying to get closer and closer to Walker Green, but not making it happen. And for now, it looks like iRacing is having technical difficulties, so apologies to the folks, to the viewers and at home that are not able to see the tower on the left side, as right now we are trying to get it on board, and I believe it is back up as we see a couple of drivers lap down, currently making their way out of pit road. So Sky, before you joined in, there was a little bit of a wreck in the back into turn 1, but overall the top 20 actually went through scathe-free. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy for one of these FC races. We've seen a lot of chaos in this series this year. We've seen a lot of beating and banging, but it seems like everybody's made it through the opening stages of this race pretty well for now, as you've got Clint Halterman hounding down Jake Cummings right here for 4th. This is the pretty closest battle kind of up here in the top 5. We're going to move a little further back. Cale Davidson on Brent Burton. That 4th and 5th place battle is kind of raging in front of him. You got Lucas Moody out there, and then everyone on back is kind of in a line, and now they're going to try to make some moves because they're all right up on each other off that final corner. Brent Burton hopping to the inside of Walker Green. Can he make the move work down into turn 1? He will have the inside, and he will get there. Brent Burton for P7 on Walker Green as everyone's swarming around trying to get that position behind him.
Sky, this is a rookie versus rookie, as it looks like for their first season. It's take no prisoners, as they want to make a mark here in the CLFC. And one thing to note, Sky, I want to mention, Alif and Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson actually was on pole tonight, and going to at the end of lap 1 into turn 1, that's when Alif was able to make the pass on Jordan Johnson. So Jordan Johnson had a quicker qualifying pace, but race pace, we'll see. Because it's one thing to note that Jordan Johnson let him by, not fighting too much, but I mean, we both know that Jordan Johnson has a better race pace than Alif, so you think maybe he's letting him by so he can just save the tires?
We saw a really close battle when we came here in the Sports Car Challenge last year between Alif and Johnson, and I would not be surprised if that repeats itself. Johnson seems to be a little easier on the push to pass, as we've got Cale Davidson looking around the outside of Walker Green. This is for P8. Davidson will get it down the straightaway, and he'll hold that spot for now as everybody else kind of falls into line behind him from 7th on back there. And he is going to get into the corner. He'll still have that lead. Cummings is still going on. Halterman, a lot of fighting all throughout the field, and that includes for the lead there with Jordan Johnson. As I was saying, he's kind of, really close to Alif at this track, as we saw in the College Sports Car Challenge last year. And we saw last week, he did not use any push to pass until he was already about 15 seconds clear. Alif seems to be a little more willing to use that push to pass than Johnson. So we'll see if that maybe catches up to him at the end of the race, with Johnson able to punch that and get around him.
Yeah, and it looks like, well, we'll see how much Jordan Johnson saves on push to pass, because we saw him at the Canadian Grand Prix last week. He had 200 seconds with nearly 15 laps left or so. So he's definitely someone who doesn't really rely on the push to pass, and more so on just raw speed, really.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the faster drivers out here. We've got another battle going with Walker Green. This time it is looking a little further back. back, it's Brent Burton again. So Brent Burton lost that spot. He dropped behind him, and now he's going to be looking to get that spot back in this battle for the top rookie between Walker Green and Brent Burton on the racetrack in 8th. Thomas lurking behind in 10th. Cohen Evans back in 11th is in a bit of a battle as well, with Thornton Thomas in that 46 machine. He's kind of right on the tail there. They're all still right up on each other trying to get something going. I mean, pretty much everyone from Whitlock in 3rd back to about Cohen Evans in 11th is on the bumper of the car in front of him. It's really tight racing all throughout the field here in the draft. Through these big, long straightaways is only 2% getting that.
And right now, it looks like nothing's going to really happen as they fall back into line. But I did want to give a little bit of a quick update for our CLFC debuts as Andrew Voigt has moved up and currently in P19, as well as Brandon Schulenberger. He is currently in P14 and rising up from starting in P19. So our CLFC debuts, got a shout out to them. Andrew Voigt, he started in P22 up by 3 positions. And Brandon Schulenberger, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Brandon Schulenberger, he is currently up from P19 to P14.
Yeah, making moves. A couple cars making moves up through the field, and you'll see that here with Andrew Voigt kind of moving up. Jake Cummings still running 5th. He's still in that main battle there with Clint Halterman, looking to make the move up. And we had an incident further back, I believe. We'll see if we can maybe see what happened there. Not 100% sure. We have had a bit of a moment further back, so we're going to keep moving on from there. I think it involved Tubakovic. Cummings is in 5th still. He's hunting down Halterman, still hunting down Thornton Thomas there for 10th is Cohen Evans. In 11th, the battle rages back there, just like in front of them, where Brent Burton is still working on Walker Green. And we still got the teammate battle between Davidson and Moody. We're going to keep looking at our battle here. Most positions gained in the race. Charles Wimbley is up 10 spots so far. John LaFawn up 9, along with Logan Smith and Alan Hong, all having pretty good runs. And Troy Cammy on debut is running 8 spots ahead of where he started in 24th.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna mention about Charles Wembley. He's on my radar right now from P25 to P15, and only 19 seconds back from the lead. So he is currently on the charge. But it looks like there was not only an incident in lap 1, turn 1, but it looks like in lap 3 into turn 1, also another incident. So in the midfield, kind of been hectic. So anything between 1st and 15th, everything's been calm. But between 15th to 25th, looks like there's been a lot of shuffling. As right now on board here with Schulenberger trying to make a pass. As it looks like in P14, he's caught up with Aiken Lamar. And he's going to try and get a better entry. It looks like Lamar is currently on his life support with those tires. And as I mentioned earlier, Sky, about how technical this course is, definitely going to be about how you save those tires. Right now, it looks like it's about to go 3 wide. As it looks like Charles Wembley thought twice about it. And Brandon's going to move up into P13. And Lamar is trying to hold off Wembley for P14.
Schulenberger has got that spot for now, but Lamar and Wembley are still side by side behind, trying to hold it. And up the inside is Charles Wembley. And he might even go 3 wide because Wembley's going to try to shoot it into Schulenberg here, and he will get it. So 2 cars in 2 corners for Charles Wembley. If he can hold off Schulenberger on the switchback, he does. Schulenberger wiggling, getting a little loose. And that'll allow Aiken Lamar through too. So it's Wembley 13th, Lamar 14th, Schulenberger 15th for now. This is a very technical track, but it's also one where you kind of got a lot of overtaking opportunities. You've got these big straightaways into these tight chicanes that make for good overtaking, and then you've also got these more technical corners where, you know, you can slip up on exit and get around someone really easily. So it's a very technical track and one with a lot of passing, as we've seen in the early part of this race.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, it looks like Brandon on board here trying to, well, I wouldn't be too happy if I was Brandon, as he unfortunately hit the grass there trying to fend off Wembley side by side out of turn 12. But right now it looks like Walker Green, one of our CLFC rookies, he is currently fighting it out with Thornton Thomas, another rookie, and it looks like the battle for 9th is heating up, as behind Walker Green is Cohen Evans, and Cohen Evans behind him, well, nobody actually. That's really it. So right now, the battle for 9th, it is brewing.
Yeah, Nicholas Padnell about 4 seconds back of Cohen Evans, who is 3/10 back of Thornton Green, who is 6/10 back, or is 6/10 back of Walker Green, who is 6/10 back of Thornton Thomas in ninth. Walker Green, one of a couple Auburn cars in the field, as well as Logan Smith, both trying to have good runs for their university. Auburn, one of the newer schools to the CIL, but ones that have had a really good run in the CIL in recent years.
And one thing to note from production, it looks like that the push to pass is currently unavailable to look at the time being. So hopefully we'll get that sorted out. Oh, I'm so sorry. My correction. The blue arrows on the left side, as you see how when the drivers are currently on push to pass, we can tell on the left side when there's blue arrows. So Alan Hong, the Go Hong, just used it up right there in P23.
Yeah, a lot of drivers are going to be using this push to pass. I think mostly down that big straightaway there. That's kind of the main area where that push to pass is going to be used. Big front straightaway, big back straightaway, where you're able to kind of generate a lot of draft and get a really big toe on the car in front of you. Try to use it like some F1 DRS in order to make the moves stick. That's the most common use of it, I would say. We're going to watch Ryan Whitlock, who's currently in third, diving into turn one. He'll kind of back into two through that these first couple corners, which are all really tight, really slow, kind of chicane-like corners. One of the more technical sections on the racetrack. He's currently holding a half-second lead over Clint Halterman and a 1-second lead over Jake Cummings.
And one thing I want to note is Charles Wembley up into P13, so currently up 12 positions from starting in P25. So I believe he is currently one of the biggest CIL movers of the day. And Cale Davidson and Lucas Moody, Ball State University teammates. I mean, I don't know what they would call it. I mean, I was actually thinking, Sky, the other day, Ball State orders. I mean, I know there's papaya rules. What do you think of a Ball State team orders?
I'm not sure, but I think in most cases, knowing a Leaf, you'd probably want them to maybe be a little safer than they would be around some other cars, but I don't think they want to really hurt each other on the racetrack as Moody continues to hunt down Davidson. Didn't have a great run out of there. He's now 8/10 back, and you'll maybe fall a little closer to the clutches of Brent Burton.
Oh, and we got a penalty. Looks like we got a penalty. The 009 car to receive a drive-through penalty for ignoring blue flags. That is Esteban Munoz. So it looks like he was haggling with the leaders and not letting them by soon enough.
Yeah, it's not going to be great for him. We're going to look at the leader he held up, Jordan Johnson, on a Leaf. This is still the battle for the lead, as it has been for pretty much the entire race. Jordan Johnson heading through this kind of third sector of the track here. We'll spin him back out onto a pretty quick 90-degree curve as you see him get around the lap car of Garrett Vighton right there. He'll head it back down into another set of chicanes, and that'll spin him back out onto the front straightaway of the oval. Maybe Jordan Johnson can get a good run there and hit some push to pass. We'll see how he does it. This is a really important corner to get it right. He'll come out on the bumper of a Leaf. They are both on the push to pass. Jordan Johnson's got the better run, and he's got the slipstream as well. The Leaf goes low to block. Johnson goes high. They're going to be side by side down into here, and a Leaf will win out for now.
I don't know. It looks like the
switch back to the outside, and a Leaf will slam the door.
And that was a great move there by a Leaf, but honestly, I'm not going to lie. From the perspective of Jordan Johnson there, I don't think I would be too happy, as that was a very late move. And again, on the push to patch, on the back stretch, can he make it happen? Looking to the right side, he's going to have a chance here. But will a Leaf respond? It looks like he's also on the push to pass. Still side by side. Who's going to be late on the braking? It looks like Jordan Johnson. And they're going to bang wheels down through the S's. Still side by side. Jordan Johnson, a Leaf, who is going to come out front. Still side by side. Down into turn 10. Who is going to be late on the brakes? Jordan Johnson's going to send it, and he does. And Jordan Johnson, our new race leader, or used to be, once again, our race leader. Oh, but it's not late. Oh, hold on, too late to
call. Is going to come straight back around the outside. There's a little bit of contact again. Alif is going to have the outside here, but he'll have the inside down into there. It won't matter because Jordan Johnson will get the run off, and they'll come down onto the front straightaway. Jordan Johnson in the lead by 2.5 tenths, and he is on the push to pass.
I mean, Sky, I think that was a little bit of me calling it too soon there. I did not think a Leaf was gonna really send it in there, and we know how bad the track kind of changes, how it cambers off from the infield to the oval. So it was really daring a Leaf sending it in, but we notice right there he has the red tires, he has the softs. So right now with 32 laps to go, we are currently 13 laps in. So a Leaf with those tires slowly dying off, and Jordan Johnson with the harder tire. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jordan Johnson is on the soft. No, I believe he's on the hards.
Graphic broke.
Graphic broke, but Sky, yeah, it looks like Jordan Johnson with those hard tires. So the long pace, of course, was gonna be there for Jordan Johnson for the beginning, and the Leaf was just trying to hold him up, but I mean, hold him up not for so long because it looks like Johnson is checking out a Leaf now, 6 tenths ahead.
Tires start to fade at a certain point in the run. Both drivers have to run each set once. So Elif has used his set of softs here. Jordan Johnson has not used his yet, meaning he can take those later in the race if he so desires to try and get maybe a better run to the finish if he tries something like an undercut there. So that's going to be the main strategy with those tires. Elif, if he wants to run one more set of softs, he can. If he wants to run hards to the end of the race, he can do that too. It's going to be really interesting to see how this develops. And if Elif can maybe keep the gap closer, if he's going to keep falling back until he makes another pit stop.
But Sky, one thing to know, and right now on board, we're watching right now, Clint Halterman gaining and gaining at Ryan Whitlock. So right now, Clint Halterman looks like he's been saving good enough tires, and Whitlock just sending it around. So it's only a matter of time, possibly on the front stretch, that it looks like Clint Halterman is going to have a chance here at Ryan Whitlock. But Sky, 19 to 21 laps are the estimated fuel range. So it looks like it's not just going to be a one-stopper. It looks like it's going to be a two-stopper.
Yeah, with the lap time of this, it's going to be interesting to see if any drivers maybe try to stretch it. I don't think they will be able to unless we get like a massive accident resulting in a caution. But I don't think that'll happen given how far apart many of these cars are. And look at this push to pass. Like I said, Elif has been way more on it than Johnson has. He's on it right now. He has 120 seconds left. Johnson is 150. But if you look further back, Halterman's used 25 seconds. Whitlock has used none. Davidson has used none. And Cummings has only used 7 seconds. So a lot of cars further back have not really utilized this push to pass at all. And it's kind of Nicholas Patinella and R. Muhammad Elif who have been the big two push to pass users so far in this race.
I think Ryan Whitlock is taking a page out of Jordan Johnson's book from last week, and it looks like a car off track. I believe that's one of the lap cars in P32.
And Robbie Hotchkiss.
Yeah, so it looks like those two drivers kind of tangling there in the backpack. And so we're gonna take a look at the replay here, Sky, and tell us what probably happened here.
Yeah, it was Alex Finnerty, it was Robbie Hotchkiss. This is Robbie Hotchkiss, not Troy Kami, at the back of the field. And he just kind of misses the corner and goes off.
But look who he got in front, Sky.
If Finnerty was in trouble with that, but yeah, that was right in front of some of our race leaders.
That's in front of Jay Cummings in P5. Ooh. Sky, I mean, do you think that was a safe entry? I don't think that was a really smart move there, especially in the short S's there.
Yeah, definitely want to keep it on the track. Is the general rule of thumb here at the Indy Road Course.
Of course, and right now it looks like drivers are falling off a lot on pace. It looks like the softs are actually showing themselves as a Leaf now, a second behind Johnson. And reminder for folks, Clint Halterman on those hards, and also Ryan Whitlock. So right now they are actually catching a Leaf. I just saw their lap times from they're right now almost a 10th fast, or just as fast as the Leaf. So right now they are catching up to your second place, our belief.
Yeah, well, they're on those, at least Halterman is on those older tires, so he's going to have the better run. Because as we go further into this tire run, the tires start to fade, and Whitlock and Halterman will slowly come back to a Leaf on those harder tires.
Yeah, and one thing to notice now that the leaders are about to enter their 18th lap. They are currently now into the fuel window, or I should say pit window, in the next 3 to 4 laps, I would say.
So we'll see if anyone makes a move. We'll see who makes the first move down and tries to pull a bit of an undercut. It is still a Leaf chasing down Jordan Johnson, but that gap has opened to about 1.1 seconds there as those tires continue to go. And for Leaf now, it's not about battling, it's just about management, trying to keep those things alive for as long as possible so that you can live to fight another day and catch up to Jordan Johnson.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that well, Leaf has to go in the hards. Johnson is going to be able to go in the reds, but I mean, hear me out, Sky. They have to pit a second time just because they're going to be short on fuel by, I would say, between 4 to 5 laps. So would it be smart if they would go in, maybe cut this stint in half so that they can be on fresher tires on the third one, I should say.
Yeah, that might be a strategy here. I'm sure Elise is thinking about it. I'm sure he's at least thought about what he wants to do here. But I'd imagine he will probably come in earlier than Jordan Johnson because he is the one who's going to be suffering the most on those tires. Jordan Johnson absolutely has more life in them at this point. As Brent Burton, one of the cars who has pit, is going to take the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, Brent Byrne, he's currently on the red, so he is cruising, and he is currently trying to track his way back up. So he is currently P20th. So our first our first driver of tonight to pit in is your very own Brent Byrne. Started in P8, now back in P20. So we'll see if he's gonna try and underpit a lot of people. I believe he pitted in I think around P11.
Cohen Evans battling with Thornton Thomas. Thomas will get the spot for now. Evans will look around the outside into turn one, but he just does not have the speed.
Oh, but he hit the
will
curb.
Maybe have the outside here. No, he does not. He'll go a little wide. Thornton Thomas will pull it right back out, and he'll fall back closer to the lap car of Alex Finnerty, who's back there behind this battle in 32nd.
And one thing to know, as you saw, Thornton Thomas kind of hit the curb a really bad way. And Cohen Evans, seeing an opportunity, what is he going to do? No, he thinks twice, and he's going to fall back in line and try to attack in another corner. But one thing is that the curbs is definitely eating away these tires. Turn one looks like, well, out of turn one, if you hit that curb the wrong way, you'll definitely upset the car, and all that extra force on those tires are going to eat them away.
Yeah, you can dab. It's really easy to blow those softer alternate tires out, especially when you are kind of later into the run here. If you look again at the push to pass, Leaf 118. Nicholas Patnoa has used more than half of it,
Oof.
and he's also dropped it through the field. So that's not the situation you want to be in. I would rather be a car like Thornton Thomas, who's still got almost all of it left. Same with Cohen Evans in this battle for ninth.
And right now, looks like the leader is actually taking turn 9 right now. Jordan Johnson now going, if he's going to stay out, he's going to start lap 21. And I mean, these guys, they are pushing it. So I really think that Jordan Johnson is going to most likely go into the pits now, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like he won't. He's going to stay out one more time around, lap 21. We'll see if will he go in? He's going to also stay out. How are these drivers saving fuel as right now? 21 laps in. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the CLFC Round 5 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, running on the Indy Road configuration, if you haven't noticed. And we are about to go underway in the pit cycle.
Ryan Whitlock is there in third. He's one of the cars with a little more push to pass left, and I would expect those cars to maybe come down a lap or two later, because push to pass uses up a lot of your extra fuel, and that can come back to haunt a car like a Leaf, who might not be able to run quite as far as someone like Cale Davidson back in 6th, who has not touched the button at all. But for now, pretty much the only car we've seen come down to pit that was running towards the front was Brent Burton, who cycled out in 20th. He is running up to 18th. He's got past Burrow, and he's got past Voigt, and he will now be looking to move further up the order, trying to get around Jason Wallet, who's the next car up the road in 17th.
Yeah, and it's a long way for Brent Byrne, but him pitting in, maybe he's trying to really maximize 2 pit stops here, and it looks like the leaders are not going into the pits, with Jordan Johnson now checking out with 2.3 seconds in front of a Leaf. Once again, they're going down the back stretch, as it looks like another battle here, believe for P18, oh no, P30th. It looks like P30. So even from the lead lap to to even lap downs, as Esteban Munoz trying to gain at Tyler Klingensmith for that P30.
Yeah, it's Munoz. It's Klingensmith on Munoz here. This is not too far in front of the leaders. It's only about 7 seconds ahead of Jordan Johnson right now. So if Jordan Johnson doesn't pit, he stays out, he keeps getting up to these guys, this could be a battle on the racetrack here that could interfere with our leaders, as Thornton Thomas has come into the pit lane. That's the next car in our top 10 to bring it into the pits.
Yeah, so it looks like people outside of top 7 are finally going into the pits. So it looks like we'll see what will the leaders react, because of course they are now heading into, I believe, going into pit road. Yes, they are. It looks like Jordan Johnson is now in. A Leaf right behind. What will a Leaf do? He's gonna, oh, a Leaf stays out. I repeat, a Leaf stays out. He's gonna stay out and looks like he's gonna try and maybe over pit. He has to push the pass on, so he's gonna have to maximize here, as Jordan Johnson is gonna go into the pits and swap over to those softs.
Yeah, that is a really interesting strategy, given that we know Alif was on the worst tire. Those soft tires, more wear on them than Johnson's hard, so he is definitely trying something. I think all these cars are pretty clearly trying this one pit this race.
Oh, wow.
Alif is going to try to maybe go a little further with it. We were going to see how this works out for him, but he's going to go a little further and then put the alternates on at the next stop. In contrast to Jordan Johnson, who will put the softs on right here and come out behind him.
I'm sorry, but do you see behind the 95? Is that Ryan Gosling on one of the pit stalls? Anyways, Jordan Johnson now on those soft reds. He's gonna pull out of pit road in P8. Oh no, sorry, Brandon Schulenberger. He looks like he's gonna check him out, and he's gonna be in P8. Currently fighting. It looks like Ricky Paz in P25, so a lap down. But with those soft reds, Jordan Johnson has now passed Brandon for P8. But Alif now finally going to go into the pit. So, I mean, maybe I was really thinking, Sky, that Alif was trying to stretch it to a one-stopper, but it looks like Alif now finally going to pit in and is going to have to get on those hard tires, with Jordan Johnson now going to turn 6, I believe. So we'll see. Oh, but Jordan Johnson, he's currently behind lap cars. I think Alif might be able to hold out as he's sandwiched between Ricky Paz and Andrew Voigt. So looks like Jordan Johnson, he is now using his push to pass. He's currently trying to make something happen, as right now Alif he's now going in. He's just now going in to get those tires.
Yeah, he's going to come in here. I think everyone's stretching this to a one-stop. It's a 45-lap race. We got 22 to go. Everybody is going to save enough gas to one-stop this. Jordan Johnson's going to come down the straightaway with Alif still in his pit box.
Alif is now out of his pit box. He's now out of the pit exit.
Let's see how this goes out. Alif is going to come out, and Jordan Johnson is going to blow right past him. And he will come out with a commanding 2.5-second lead over our Muhammad Alif. And 2 lap cars in there.
I was gonna say near contact with our FC director Ricky Paz, and yeah, Alif with 2 lap cars in front of him. That dirty air is not gonna suit him well, as those hard softs. Oh, and it looks like we got a spin. I believe that was Andrew Voigt, who unfortunately spun out there. But yeah, it looks like Alif might not be too happy with how he exited the pits there. With in front of him, it looks like that is Andrew Burrow. He is currently on those soft reds, and relatively also. He also pitted not too long ago, so Alif being held up, but he's going to get past. And Cale Davidson, I mean, Sky, talk to me about the rules there. That was a little bit too much weaving, right?
Weaving down the straightaway there, and we're going to see if the stewards catch that, because I am pretty sure that that is very against the rules. So we will see if they catch that or care about his battle there with 26 Edward Munoz, the lap car behind him. Cohen Evans is in the pit from 3rd. Clint Halterman is in the pit from what had been the lead, and that will leave Jordan Johnson out front to run the fastest lap of the race on those fresh red tires.
Also, I wanted to give a quick update about that Cale Davidson swerving. It looks like it actually wasn't for position. Behind him was Esteban Munoz, who is currently 1 lap down. So I believe Cale Davidson was swerving to really put heat in those tires, as he just pitted with those hards.
Here's
As Walker Green.
He's looking up the inside of Lucas Moody, but he will back out before he gets down to the corner, and Moody will hold the spot for now. He'll try to get a better run so he can try that again some other time. Right up to the bumper of Moody into 2. Down into 3 won't do anything here. He's going to have to focus on getting a good run on this car so he can make the move into one of these really tight corners up here that I don't quite think he's going to be close enough to get it. This time he's not on the push capacitor or anything, so he's relying purely on corner exit and slipstream to help him here. What might help him is the lap car of Logan Smith in 26, who is right in front of this battle. He's probably thinking he wants Moody to hit Logan Smith and lose some time so he can try to use them as a bit of a pick to make that overtake happen for P8.
I mean, if I was Lucas Moody, I'd not be happy. He is on those reds, so being in that dirty air behind, Walker Green behind Lucas Moody, I should say, with those softs. So Walker Green not too happy, as that dirty air is not going to help out those softs, as it looks like Brent Burton trying to hold off a hard and charging Cale Davidson for Ball State, as Cale Davidson is going to make a wider entry here, and it looks like Brent Burton, he is not going to be able to, well, he is going to be able to hold it off with those soft reds, but looks like still side by side out of turn 4 down into turn 5. Cale Davidson is going to take a nice entry, but can he do it? No, he does not. And Brent Burton is going to hold off the CIO rookie, putting off a display of defense there as they go down into turn 8.
Yeah, Cale Davidson is still on his tail, and now here's another one. Walker Green has gotten up the inside of Lucas Moody. He's taken the spot for now, and he'll hold it down into the chicanes. So that's Walker Green for P8 on Ball State's Lucas Moody, the third Ball State car in line, who will drop back to 9th for the time being. But early on in this run, we'll see if Moody has what it takes. He is on those harder tires versus Brent Burton, who is a little further up the road. He is on the softer tires, so we'll see if that comes back to haunt him later in the race.
I mean, I kind of like what Walker Green is doing. It's kind of putting that dirty air on Lucas Moody and having to use up those hard tires so that he has an equal chance later down the road. And of course, right now, as we see, it looks like Cale Davidson has made the pass on Brent Burton. So Cale Davidson now in free air and having to track down Jay Cummings up ahead in P5.
Yeah, through the chicane this battle goes. It's still Cummings holding the spot over Davidson holding the spot over Brent Burton, 6th and 7th. And he goes a little wide there, but Brent Burton's not able to shoot it up the inside and capitalize. Brent Burton, another driver who's taking those softer tires, and not only is he taking those softer tires, but he took them earlier than anyone else. I think he might be the only driver out here trying to two-stop it, and we'll see how that works out for him as he's trying to get around the 6th place car of Cale Davidson, who played the one-stop strategy and is on hard tires.
And I want to really see, I wanted you to see the sector times, folks. So look at that. Sector 1 and 3 is on Cale Davidson's side. That is more of the technical parts. Sector 2, I would say, is more skewed for Brent Burton as he gets that nice draft on the back stretches. Once again, as they pass around, it looks like Cale Davidson is checking out of Brent Burton. As Brent Burton looks like those reds are kind of dying out a little bit, and he's going to have to slowly lift and try to save those tires. So, Sky, can you go through
our top 10 here? Yeah. Jordan Johnson is your race leader for now, but he's on those hard tires. Alif behind him is in 2nd. He's on the softs and he's pushing. He's closed that gap from 3.5 to 2.5 seconds and closing. I mean, it's down to 2 right now. Big gains for our Muhammad Alif. He's trying to get that time back. Ryan Whitlock, P3, 11 seconds back, is going to hope to have a good result here to move himself up the point standings. Our first place alumni is Clint Halterman running 4th for UNC Charlotte, 3.5 seconds back of Whitlock, and Jake Cummings is in 5th for Converse.
And right now, we're currently on board here with Jake Cummings. Oh, and now we are on board with Jordan Johnson, I believe, Cale Davidson. And I want to mention a leaders update. Yeah, right now, 2.7 in front of Alif, so Johnson checking out. But, Sky, we saw Alif stay out one more lap than Johnson. And when he pitted in, he had 22 laps to go to the end. So do you think Alif might try to maybe stretch this out to the end?
Yes. Yes,
Ooh,
he
that's a
is.
confident yes. That's a confident yes. We'll see.
He
We'll
is,
see.
yes.
Because Jordan Johnson pit early. So I mean, Sky. I mean, well, no, we cannot. We can't do those type of things on the air. But I want to say, you know, I want to give a funny bet that if Leaf is able to stretch this out, I mean, this man, I mean, he does not have the long race pace, but on the strategy side, his crew chief is definitely calling the shots, and it might work out.
Our Muhammad Alif, we're going to take you on a lap on board with him around the racetrack. Turn 1 here. Good entry. Turn 2, he'll go right on that curb, back on it into 3, and then he'll stay with the curbing into 4 to get himself back on the straight before this quick chicane. And then a long run will take him down to turn 7.
I mean, Sky, you see how smooth he is with the gas? I really do think he's coasting it in and trying to save fuel, as you're saying. So, yeah, down into turn 7, through the S's of turns 8 and 9, Olif just planting that car and trying to keep those hard tires alive. Out of turn 9, down into the right-hander to turn 10. And one thing to focus here is that, ooh, that curving a little bit too much as he gets back onto the oval track, down into turn 11, another 90-degree hand corner, down into turn 11, sorry, turn 12, and out of turn 13 and 14, he's going back up through the front stretch.
Yeah, our Muhammad Ali's going to shoot it down the straightaway here. Didn't really gain much time on Johnson that run, and he will continue to follow him down into turn 1, but still no real ground to be gained in that battle for the lead.
I will mention, actually, he only gained a 10th there, on Muhammad Ali. He only gained a 10th on the leader. And right now, on board with one of our CLFC debuts, Brandon Schulenberger, and it looks like he's gonna try and make a stick it on the outside. He's fighting Aiken Lamar for P12. He's gonna still stick it on the outside. He has those softs. Aiken Lamar with those hards. So Schulenberger is gonna try and make it happen. Can he? Can he? And he will. And he does. Lead into the braking. And he does. Brandon makes the pass for P12. So let's do a CIL crank it up. Don't go anywhere, folks. Put on that volume and let's hear those college drivers roar in Indy Road Course. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the CIL Round 5 live here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the Indy Road configuration. And right now, yes, your eyes does not deceive. Our Muhammad Alif is in second place, trying to catch up there to Jordan Johnson, but he's currently got a car in front of him, and I believe that is a lap car, and I'm trying to see if that's Brent Burton. So looks like with only 12 cars on the lead lap, with it looks like Brandon Schulenberger, he's currently P12, and with a minute and 4 behind, he's currently the next car track to be lapped down. But yeah, Jordan Johnson up front, a minute and 8, and with 11 laps to go. Sky, are we thinking Alif can make it to the end on fuel?
I mean, I think he can. He pit, the 45 lap race? He pit on lap 23. I think he is definitely good to make it to the end with how much he saved on that first state. I think the main fuel constraint would be if he doesn't save enough, it might affect his push to pass. He might not be able to use it because if he uses it, he's going to burn too much fuel and he won't be able to get anywhere with it. So that's going to be, I think, the main worry for Alif, rather than can I make it to the end? Can I make it to the end while using my remaining 82 seconds of push to pass?
And it's just like you mentioned, lap 23, Alif went in, but Jordan Johnson, lap 22. So he pitted at lap earlier than Alif. So even more dire situation is this guy right here we're seeing on screen for Kent State, Jordan Johnson, the number 4 car. Can he make it last? Who knows? As right now, Jordan Johnson is going to take it 10 laps to go here in the Yard of Bricks.
Yeah, it's only 10 to go in this race. Jordan Johnson still holding the lead, but our Muhammad Alif has closed the gap from 3.5 down to 1.5 seconds, and it is still going. He is going to keep this gap closing as those tires start to wear for Johnson, and maybe Alif can get back up there to make a move in the final couple laps of this race.
Yeah, and so it looks like, looks like Brandon up front in P12, trying to stay on the lead lap. He actually almost got in with Ricky, as Ricky got loose there, going back on the backstretch. So Brandon trying to stay on the lead lap for his first ever CLFC debut, which, to be honest, going into tonight, I mean, I have faith for my man here, but P12, not a bad first start for him in this Indy Road.
Yeah, he's made some good moves up through the field. Watching Brandon Schulenberger. He's got a bit of a gap up in front of him, but the gap is closer to Jordan Johnson behind him. And Brent Burton is kind of the lap car as a pick, who's kind of in between Johnson and Alif. Schulenberger will take him down into turn 1. Does have that 12-second gap to Charles Wimley that he'd need to erase to get any more positions, but he's also got Brent Burton behind him, who is kind of running his own strategy. Brent Burton, I believe, is the only driver in the field who is two-stopping this race. He's got it in 13th. He is on those soft tires, and he has got 6.5 seconds to the back bumper of Schulenberger and 9 laps to try and make it happen.
But remember, Sky, look who's in front of him, Jordan Johnson. So how do you go around the race leader? Of course, if he has the pace, like, just go by, but I mean, it's one thing to really have to adhere to the blue flags, and it's another to try to pass the leader again. But I got an interesting statistics right here. Wingate University. It looks like Wingate University back-to-back seasons. Of course, last season Jay Cummings representing for Wingate, and now Brandon, he's picking up the torch, and noted right there. Yeah, Alif now picking up the pace. Last time around, he was a 10th. He was actually 0.3 faster. But this time around, he's 0.4 slower. But Alif using that draft, I mean, that's genius by him with Brent Burton having those fresh tires. But Brent Burton, I don't think he's going to give up that easily. And I was stated incorrectly. Looks like Alif overtakes Brent Burton with ease. And Brent Burton is going to allow him to try to fight up to the leader. Now, just a second and 1.3 seconds behind.
Yeah, the gap continues to close. Alif has been using that push to pass. He's got it down to 65 seconds left with 8 laps to go, but Jordan Johnson still has 91, so he can use push to pass for 91 seconds in his remaining 8 laps to try and pull that lead over our Muhammad Alif, and that is 26 more than Alif can. Looking further back at some of these battles, like Jake Cummings has barely touched the button at all. He'll have a lot left, while Walker Green has kind of spent it all trying to stay ahead of Lucas Moody for P7. So a lot of varying push-to-pass strategy here, and that is becoming evident later in this race. Some cars have 200, some cars don't have any.
Yeah, and with the leaders now coming around for 7 to go, I mean, time can only tell really to see if these top leaders, if they really do have enough fuel to the end, because I can tell you right now, Leaf now nearly a second to Jordan Johnson, and he's gonna get that nice toe down the front stretch. I mean, Jordan Johnson had 91 seconds of push to pass, and you said it right. Using that push to pass, it eats up the gas, and then that first stint that they had, Jordan Johnson had around 170. So he's been using up a lot to hold off Elite, but right now, Lucas Moody, he's going to see an opportunity there as Walker Green with those soft reds. Looks like they're dying as, whoa! Lucas Moody nearly hit the back of Walker Green as they go around turn 14, back on the front stretch. Lucas Moody now on the push to pass. He's going to get a nice toe in. Who's he going to think? Left or right? He's going to look into the inside right about now. No! Walker Green decides to block the CILFC rookie, putting on a show of defense down into turn 1. Can Lucas Moody do something? He's going to make it a wide entry, but Walker Green is going to shut the door, but that means he's going to compromise an exit, and he's going to have to hold off there for another few corners.
Yeah, Walker Green still trying to hold it off. Moody's right on his bumper, but he can't quite get there for now, and they'll head down to the chicane that's pretty much flat out in these Indy cars. He is all over the back. They've both got the push-to-pass deployed. Lucas Moody will shoot around the outside. The Moody missile tries to get the overtake going. He can't quite do it, and Walker Green will hold him off for now. He'll look the outside, can't get it again. He's trying to get a run on him, but he hasn't been able to do it, and for now, Walker Green will hold the spot. Yeah,
hold on, I think the next... No, he's going to sit down the inside. Oh, it looks like... yeah, Walker Green, he's gonna sabotage his exit right there.
On Johnson.
Oh, yeah, right now. Yeah, turn 6.
Side by side. Armand Elite on the inside of Jordan Johnson. They touch. Little bit of contact. Jordan Johnson just barely off the racetrack. Elite will fight back on the outside. Now Jordan Johnson will fight back on the inside. The track's twisting back and forth for these drivers. Johnson will hold the inside. They're still side by side. What bangs Elite almost into the outside wall, but he barely loses time. Jordan Johnson holds the spot. It's a switchback from Elite. Can he hold it? He's still there. He'll have the inside up through here. It'll give him a better run down the front straightaway. They've been side by side for half a lap, and they are still going. Both drivers on the push to pass. Both of them trying to get it. They're side by side. Johnson crowding Elite, but he's got the inside. There's more contact. Johnson all over the curbing. He's going to hold the inside still, and Elite.
The switchback, the switchback!
Take a breath. He won't. Switchback Jordan Johnson. They are still side by side. This battle is never going to end. And Elite is all the way off. They're still almost touching.
Side by side. Elite on the inside. Down to turn 7. Still side by side. It looks like Elite is going to have to hold on the inside, but he does not give up. Johnson and then number 4. Oh, beautiful driver. Still side by side hitting the... Oh, and it looks like Elite is going to take it. And Jordan Johnson is going to give up P1. What a battle, Sky. What is going on?
Man, I got all loud. I thought that was going to be a crazy moment, and it went for about 2 full minutes there before Muhammad Elite finally, on those harder, those longer lasting tires, got to the switch point and was able to overtake Jordan Johnson. They're both on the push to pass, but I don't know if Johnson has it. It's going to take a massive drive for him. He's going to have to hope he saved those tires really well, because that's going to be the thing that will allow him to make a charge back up to Elite if he can.
But you see on the left side, 31 seconds to leave. Johnson with 48 seconds. He is the number 48, Jimmy Johnson. Good callback. He is currently still have the advantage with that push to pass. So if Johnson can, hopefully, if his tires are still alive with 4 laps to go, if he can get through the technical course and maybe get a good run on the front stretch, he might have another shot at Elite. But you saw that beautiful battle, wheels bumping and rubbing, and wow, Elite just getting by barely into P1. So our new race leader with 4 laps to go, our Muhammad Elite trailing behind Johnson. And it's not over yet, folks. With 4 laps to go, don't go anywhere. Hit that like button if you've been enjoying it so far, as it's only getting started.
Jordan Johnson continues to tail our Muhammad Alif. He is not quite there yet, but I don't really think he's gonna get him. I mean, he's lost about 3/10 on that last lap. He's still losing, and even though he's on the push to pass and he's got more of it, I don't think he's gonna quite have the speed. And Brandon Schulenberger is gonna drop really slow to let them both by, so he'll go back to he'll go a lap down. He'll still be in 12th, leaving 11th place Charles Wimbley as the last car on the lead lap, with 3 to go for our Muhammad Alif, your race leader.
Yeah, respect on Brandon right there. He did not want to get in the leader's way. And you know what? If I was Brandon's crew chief, I'd be like, get out of there. Because this is a battle of the century as a Johnson. 0.8 seconds now. Looks like Alif is checking out. As we see down there on your bottom right of the screen, our predicted lap time. He is currently 40 seconds. Well, right now it is currently Alif trying to hold off Johnson, but 28 seconds of push to pass. So right now Johnson with 13 seconds of advantage on push to pass. Who knows if he can? 3 laps to go as the leaders are about to take it. 2 laps to go here at the Indy Road Course.
It is a battle. While that battle continues to get further and further apart, this one is getting closer and closer for third, but he's gotten a little loose. It's Clint Halterman looking on Ryan Whitlock. He had that gap under half a second, got a little loose off the corner, and now he's trying to get it back. Still about half a second. Both drivers are on those softer red tires, so it's equal footing tire-wise. Halterman has much less push to pass than Whitlock, but he's going to try to get the run going here. We'll see if he's saved enough tire to make this run happen as we hit 2 to go. Can Clint Halterman get on the podium?
It looks like Clint Halterman faster in the technicals between sectors 1 and 3, but it looks like Ryan Whitlock with 80, we saw that, 85 seconds of push to pass. But also look behind them. Jake Cummings, he's actually been really falling off of lap pace, because look who's behind Jake Cummings. Cale Davidson. He's cut that distance down to 2.5 seconds. Only 1 car separating between him and Jake.
Halterman's still on the bumper of Whitlock. He's gotten that gap down 0.2 of a second. He is still looking to make something happen, and he might have a chance here.
He's there.
He is closer than he's been all run, and with under 0.3 left, or with under 0.3 to go until he make the pass, coming to the white flag here. Alif has just taken the white flag. He's going to have one more time around to try to get Whitlock and try to make this move happen for third, but he's still kind of stuck behind him.
I like that move of Clint Halterman, using every single inch of the track. He is using absolutely everything. He's going over the curbs, even going into the grass. He gets a nice streamline down here on the front stretch. Can he make something happen? No, he does not. He looks on the inside, tries to throw in a dummy. Yes, it looks like Ryan Whitlock. Oh, and he has to check up, as Ryan Whitlock also went in wide there into turn 1. And he's going to survive for another corner, as the leader's now out of turn 7. Close to ending off the lap, but I want to really stay on here with Clint Halterman. He's going to have another shot here down the back stretch if he has anything. Sky, you think something's going to happen here?
Well, we're definitely going to find out. He is still on that push to pass, but now he has none left. So he's out of push to pass, while Whitlock still has 57 seconds extra horsepower, which is more than enough to take him to the end of this race. It is going to take a send for Halterman to get Whitlock, as Alif comes out of the final corner, and he is going to come to the line. Our Muhammad Alif is going to win the Indy Grand Prix after a crazy move on Jordan Johnson for second, and now the battle for third is the main focus. Clint Halterman has dropped a little further back. It's still half a second. He is going to have one chance, and he is not close enough. So Ryan Whitlock will bring it home in third, Clint Halterman in fourth, and it'll be Jake Cummings in fifth.
I don't know about Jake Cummings in fifth, as right now, rounding about the final corner, Cale Davidson, you're right, not close enough. 1.6 seconds was the end, but Converse University can now breathe a sigh of relief, as Jake Cummings is going to turn it in for a top 5, followed by Ball State University, Cale Davidson in P6. Lucas Moody, the Missile Moody, what a nickname you gave him earlier. He's started in P6, dropped down to P7, so he's going to finish it off. A nice finish for him in the top 10. Walker Green looks like one of our CIL rookies of the season. He's gonna top it off with a P8, followed by Cohen Evans. Oh wait, Doran Thomas, he's out of fuel. Doran Thomas is out of fuel. He's currently trying to make it around. Charles Wembley, he's running around. He just passed it for 10th place as Doran Thomas. Looks like, he's gonna finish in P11. Fortunately enough, since the leader took the checkered flag, which means Brandon Schulenberger finishes in P12. Anyone behind Brandon is technically done. So Doran Thomas, he's trying to make his way around the final corner. I should say in the pit lane. I was just watching him, and he started sputtering in P10, and Charles Wembley made the pass. But yeah, Doran Thomas, unfortunately, for a top 10, I think he could have been a back-to-back top 10 for his rookie season debut, will unfortunately fall back into P11.
Yeah, that's not... you definitely do not want to run out of fuel on the last lap of the race. That might be the absolute worst possible thing to happen to you on the final lap of a race. What were your thoughts on that race, Edward? How'd that go for you?
Oh, I was going to say quickly, I think someone's going to get fired on the Doran Thomas pit crew because Stubb did not calculate their fuel for their driver.
Crew chief.
Or their crew chief. Yeah, you're right, the crew chief. Oh, boy. Well, Doran Thomas crew chief, I think there's going to be a vacancy soon enough. But, Sky, yeah, your question on this race, I mean, it's spectacular. I think that the first lap was as smooth as it can get. The top 20 really scathe-free. We didn't see no big wreck, no big one. And relatively, the battle was interesting. Jordan Johnson overtaking Leaf with those hard tires in the first stint. And then Leaf with that whole... Sky, I think I had a timer here. You were commentating for like nearly 2 minutes. Like, that was insane. I don't know how you kept it up for a whole lap of fighting. So kudos to you. Better put that on your resume.
I thought that was going to be like a quick one, and it just kept going, and I just stayed loud, and I was like, I am out of breath, but we're going to keep pushing and pretending that I am not out of breath.
Yeah, it's funny. I towards the end, I try to pick it up for you, and that's when Leaf decided, this is enough fighting. Let me take it over, and he made the pass on P1. I guess he did. I don't think he hates you, but well, right now it looks like Leaf, Johnson, and Whitlock are top 3 finishers, and our alumni winner once again, Claire Halterman in P4. But so close yet so far to finish in P3. I mean, let's go down through the grid, Sky.
Yeah, we can take it. We can try to pull
the
results.
Hold on,
We're getting some interviews ready right now, though.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we're getting some interviewers
production
up in the elevator here. We are gonna have for our interviews tonight, Muhammad Alif as your winner, Jordan Johnson as your second place finisher, Ryan Whitlock as your third place finisher, and Clint Halterman as your alumni winner. So once we get those guys up into the elevator, we will be ready for them here tonight.
So Sky, your opinion on this race? You asked for my opinion, and let's see from your perspective.
I think it was a ton of fun. I think that battle between Alif and Johnson at the end was just chaos, and it kind of made it worth the price of admission just for that alone. I mean, that was one of the best battles we've seen really ever in the Formula College series. That was elite. That was just amazing. Start to finish, really, really good battle.
All right, so we're gonna bring over. It looks like our alumni winner, so. Let's bring our alumni winner, Clint Halterman of UNC Charlotte, into the booth. Clint Halterman, welcome to the booth once again. Unfortunately, not in the podium, but as tonight's alumni winner, there's gonna be something good coming out of this, right?
Yeah, I think it was a good battle, but yeah, I had could have been a podium. I think I got a little too cute on the strategy call. I thought I only needed to save like half a lap more to go a lap extra. It wasn't worth it. I had to save a lot more than I thought, and I lost. I pulled up to Ryan's bumper, and then I started saving. I fell back like 2 seconds, and then by the time I came out of the pits, I was 5 seconds back, and then I made a mistake. So unfortunate, but that was a lot of fun. Trying to catch Ryan there. It was kind of honestly like a multi-class race out there with the lap traffic. he would get held up by it at some points. I would get held up by it at some points. And our red tires were just gone. It was like driving a stock car around a road course. It was just that little grip. It was great. So I had a lot of fun, even though I couldn't quite get the podium tonight.
Yeah, take us through that battle for third. We were watching it for a lot of kind of the end of that race. Take us through how that went.
Yeah, it's funny. Ryan and I are teammates, but I don't think we've really actually pedaled on track one time. It just seems like something usually goes wrong for either of us. So it was cool to actually be able to battle him. I think I had some pace on him there, but yeah, I just I think the strategy there kind of I should have just done exactly what he did. I think I would have had a better shot, and he did a better job managing to push the pass there. I ran out coming onto the backstretch, and I think he had like 50 seconds left or something like that. So unfortunately, I got to him a little too late without any push to pass left. So yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to get there, but some of the lap traffic kind of helped me get there, and yeah, it was a fun battle. But we'll take a P4. Could have been P3, but we'll take it. Had a lot of fun.
And you can hear the despair in your voice. Unfortunately, going to be an alumni winner. At least you're a winner in some sort. You're a winner in our hearts. If only we had a favorite driver of the day, something like that. Maybe in the future we'll have it. But congratulations, and want to give our shout outs quickly?
Yeah, shout out to Orange Road Racing and Ryan, of course. No, it's not his first podium. He finished second in Nashville, but he had good pace. Me and him had like the exact same pace for a lot of the race, so nice to see him bring him on podium. And shout out to y'all for putting on the broadcast tonight.
Oh, thank you very much, Clint Haltzman. And that was our race alumni winner of UNC Charlotte, Clint Haltzman. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good luck in the next one.
All right, thank you guys.
And moving up towards our top three in P3, our very own Ryan Whitlock, the number 81. Let's bring him on board to the racing booth. And it looks like Ryan Whitlock, welcome, buddy, to the booth for University of Alabama Huntsville in third place. Ryan, I don't really see you up here that much. How did you do this tonight?
Well, you better start seeing it more often, because this is what I expect of myself. But
Okay.
Yeah, finally a podium in this series. You know, I think coming in, Clint and I knew we were going to have good pace because we both attempted this race for the IndyCar Road to Pro. And I mean, it showed. We brought home third and fourth pretty convincingly, only behind non-humans. So.
And those non-humans are Leaf and Johnson, I'm assuming. Sky.
Yeah, talk us through that battle with Clint at the end there was really exciting. Tell us how that went.
Well, you know, first I just want to say congratulations to Ricky on making the first ever CIL multi-class series. He actually beat my sports car series to it, because Clint and I, going through that lap traffic, were literally joking to each other. This feels like IMSA. It feels like we're in GTPs. So some of the lapped guys were definitely providing some give and take between Clint and I's gap. But it was tough. I think Clint's red pace was better than mine. I think my black pace was slightly better than his, and my strategy was one lap better than his. But, you know, obviously, as you all saw, it evened out towards the end.
Well, it was a great showing, and of course, very, very confident of you to call the other cars GT3s, and you're in a prototype LMP8. So great run for you, and want to give us your shout outs?
Yeah, I definitely want to shout out you guys running the commentary, running the production. I know it's a tough job, given I did it CSC on Thursday.
Thank you for filling in.
Yeah, it was something. And I got to thank, University of Alabama in Huntsville, my entire group with Charger Motorsports. You know, we're not just a sim racing team, we're a real racing team too. And this is the training ground for that team. And just got to thank Clint for the good battle and everybody for putting it on.
Thank you so much, Ryan Whitlock. That was our third place, and of course, as he said, we're going to see him more often up here for University of Alabama Huntsville. We hope so. Take care, have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you back in the booth next week.
Thank you, guys. You too.
And that was our third place winner, our third place finisher, Ryan Whitlock. Let's bring up Jordan Johnson, the man, the myth, the one who could not finish it for Kent State University. Jordan Johnson, second place is not first. Man, oh man, for Kent State University. It was a strong race there at the middle, and then that beautiful wheel-to-wheel fight. Talk to me, bud. How did it all turn out for you?
Yeah, it's a frustrating one to lose it, but I mean, it was a good battle with the Leaf. As usual, we pushed each other kind of as hard as we could. Unfortunately, I think traffic just played too much of a part in our race, and at the end of the day, he really just put together a better red stint than I did. Coming out the first 2 laps, I think I lost about 4 seconds to him just due to traffic and how they were falling for me and either blocking me or whatever was going on. So really need to have a look into that. But Leaf got another lap on me in terms of fuel in the first stint on those tires and was still able to keep pace. So I don't think at the end of the day that he didn't deserve it. He definitely put together a better race than I did, but frustrating to give away something I felt like I could have kept there.
Do you think the tires played into that at all? With you on the softer tires at the end of that race, did they start to wear out towards the end there?
I think admittedly I had the better strategy, especially as the track rubbered in. I would have to check the temperatures. Maybe if they came up, it might have not been the play. But it just was a matter of the fact that I had to dive bomb quite a few lap cars and I was stuck in dirty air for so long early on, and my temps just went up to the sky and I couldn't get them back down for the rest of the stint. I mean, my rear left was like 50% by the end of the race, whereas other stints in practice when I was going out and just doing test runs for the practice session, it was nowhere near that. Everything was square, and I couldn't keep the tires in check because of it.
Well, it goes to show, I mentioned this earlier, those rear tires, with how technical this course is going to be something to have to save. So Jordan Johnson, a second place. He can hear the disappointment in his voice for Kent State University. Good luck in the next one. Hopefully it's not a second place, but first place. But before we let you go, give us your quick shout outs.
Yeah, of course, my team, Apex Racing Academy, all of our partners and sponsors, VRS, SDK, St. Peter's PC Systems, Stormforce Gaming, just all the help and support we get from all of our team members, sponsors, partners, and everything like that. And just being able to go out and continue to kind of run these races, run each of our special events with a really strong team and make the best of it.
Thank you, Jordan Johnson.
Thank you.
And that was our second place finisher of the night and the number 4 car for Kent State. Next up, the one and only R. Muhammad Alif for first place, our race winner. Let's bring him into the booth. R. Muhammad Alif of Ball State University. I mean, I'm not surprised, my man. What a strong race. A little bit of a hiccup there in the first stint. Of course, you were trying to hold him off. A good pass in the second lap, but man, oh man, going through those lap traffics and everything, talk to me through how good does this feel to come out on top?
It feels great. It's an alternate strategy compared to Jordan, so had to make it count the first stint by overtaking him, and then after this, just took care of the tires. Try to keep him behind as long as possible without pushing him off the track. So yeah, that happened, and then he overtook us, and then just try to just stay behind him, because I knew that the second stint was where the race was. So I was also saving fuel, which helped a lot. So yeah, good win.
Yeah, talk us through kind of the strategy there with you on those harder tires at the end of the race versus Jordan Johnson on the softer tires. How much of a factor do you think that played in the outcome?
I think it probably made the difference, just because I think our pace was just so close between us. So yeah, I think fitting that the primary tires at the end was the best call, in my opinion. Also went one lap further on the fuel, so that gave me, I think I could kind of be more on the attack with the primaries, which helped, so yeah, it was just cutting that gap to Jordan, every lap, and then seeing how the traffic was playing out, and then just taking advantage of that, and then finally, I don't know how many laps we spent side by side, but yeah, just really good racing. I mean, my mind was actually back in Indy GP, but in the GTP cars, because I lost that win because I pushed I accidentally. I pushed Jordan out wide off the track, which got me a penalty. So I was like, let's not do that. Let's get our this is obviously our home Grand Prix, so Indy GP, Ball State, it's in Indiana. So yeah, I had to win it right and I had to win it fair. So yeah, super happy with that.
Well, congratulations, our Muhammad Leaf, on a clean race this time around. And yeah, the home Grand Prix, a wonderful way to finish off the night. And before we let you go, any shoutouts?
Yep. So the whole team, Dylan, Nick, Lucas, Kale, our road drivers, also oval drivers, for all their support. Dan and BK for all their support as well, and the whole Ball State esports program, for everything.
Well, congratulations to Leaf. I'll see you on track on Monday in our Cup Series, sister. And take care. Have a good one.
Yep.
And that was our race winner, our Muhammad Alif. And the Sky, I mean, the Great Wall of Ball, it's almost non-existent now. Like, wow, I've never seen a diverse and non-Ball State dominant top 5.
Yeah, we've got a lot of cars who have really picked up the pace here in these Indy cars. I mean, Alif and Johnson were always kind of up front. Now it's Davidson, who's kind of fallen back, and it's now like Whitlock, Halterman, Cummings, all them up front. We're going to take you through our results here for tonight's race. We'll get that pulled up for you. First place, as we know, it was... we're getting there.
It was first place on.
It was
first place in the starting grid.
Yeah, first place today, our Muhammad Alif of Ball State. Second place, Kent State's Jordan Johnson. Third place, Ryan Whitlock from Alabama Huntsville, with Clint Halterman of UNC Charlotte in fourth. Jake Cummings brings it home fifth for Converse, with Cale Davidson and Lucas Moody, both of Ball State, sixth and seventh. Cohen Evans, eighth place for Purdue at Indianapolis, and Walker Green, the top rookie in the field, ninth for Auburn. Charles Wimbley will round out the top 10, finishing 10th for Guilford College.
Rounding about the top 10, it is Doran Thomas in P11 for Rose Human Institute of Technology. Doran Thomas of Rose Human Institute of Technology in P11, followed by Brandon Schulenberger for Wingate University, his debut in the CLFC for P12, a strong night for him, and another strong night for Brent Burton for Indiana. He is another CIL rookie FC, so a great strong by with him, and Dylan Beatty behind him for Ball State University in P14. P15, Jason Wallet of Drexel University, still up front, running right there up in the top, out of the top 10. Good race for him tonight, as well as John LaFawn, the number 16 for P16, Pennsylvania College of Technology, followed by Garrett Weitzen of Arizona State University, his second race of the CLFC in P17. Andrew Burrow, P18 for Clemson University, a good race him tonight, and another one for Aiken Lamar in the top 20 for Howard Community College. And rounding about the top 20, Ben Fiore of Marist College in P20.
Taking you to the rest of the field, Alex Diamond of Drexel finished 24th, with series director Ricky Paz of ECU in 22nd. Andrew Voigt brings it home 23rd, with Andrew Duncan of the Milwaukee School of Engineering in 24th. Nicholas Padnella and Tyler Klingensmith are 25th and 26th for Robert Morris University, with Logan Smith 27th for Auburn. David De Silva 28th for Montclair State University, with Nick Henley, another Ball State car, 29th, and Alex Finnerty, another UNC Charlotte car, 30th.
And the last four drivers, it is going to, I know that's P31 is not Troy Kim, he's actually Robbie, that is Robbie Hotchkiss. He is currently the 31, he's the number 82 car for New England College, 7 laps down. Adrian Tipagoic in the number 38 for P32 for St. Clair College, and his teammate behind him, the GOAT Alan Hong in P33, 18 laps down. And Esteban Munoz of Florida International University, actually one of the unlucky ones in lap 1 who unfortunately got wrecked out there. So really, a lot of the cars, we had a lot of lap traffic. So today, we had a healthy field, which I mean by a lot of cars not wrecked out in turn 1.
Yeah, we've had a lot of cars wreck out in turn 1. We've also had, 34 cars, good field in general. I mean, we get about 30 for these races. It's been a great attendance for Formula College, and it's also been a great attendance for the College Cup Series as well. And we'll be having our race there on Monday at Nashville Super Speedway, and that'll be an exciting one. That will be next Monday. Next Wednesday, we will be back in action for the Formula College Series, and that'll be the Indy Oval. We're doing the Indy 250. It's on an oval. It's going to be a really fun race, and I'm very, very, very excited for that one. It's going to be one of the best races of the season. And on October 7th, for the Sports Car channel, we are going to Road Atlanta, which I believe we're also running in Cup Series around that time. A lot of series going to Road Atlanta this year. It's a fun track. Everybody in the series seems to like it, and we will be having a great race there as well.
I won't.
October 17th.
I won't. Road Atlanta in the Cup car. Oh my lord. Anyways, if y'all want to see a fellow FC commentator absolutely drown out, tune into that because it's gonna be great. But Sky, I mean, Indy Oval. I mentioned this earlier today. This is kind of like a setup for that race next week. We're racing on the Indy Road, but next week the Indy Oval, a historic race. And for CLFC, it is going to be the second ever CLFC Oval debut. So Sky taking the lead on that one. How excited are you for that?
I am so excited. That is like when the schedule came out, that is what I circled on my calendar, and I think that is what most drivers in the series circled on their calendar. That is going to be a really, really fun race next week.
Well, with that, it looks like we are coming to an end. And of course, with all good things coming to an end, hit that like button and subscribe, because if you don't, you're gonna get probably a 4x in your next Indy official race. So, am your host Edward Sanchez. Socials are down below, and my co-host Sky Racer on Twitter. Follow her on Twitter for the best weather updates. It's gonna be
Number
amazing,
one
guys.
meteorologist in the
Number one meteorologist.
David Payne, I'm coming for you.
There you go. You heard it first from here from Sky. Anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a real one. CL Round 5 comes to a close. We'll see you all next week at the Round 6 here. Same place, same time.